All right, so I'm kind of going through some stuff from our Arizona trip, and one thing I wanted to really kind of highlight is this hike that we did. And so I was going through my stuff on Google, and I come across something that I've not used before, and this is kind of amazing. So yeah, let me get this pulled up. So this is make sure that I can see my cursor. Yeah. So this is our timeline of Monday, July 18th, 2022. This is the day that we did this hike. We did some other stuff this day too, as you can see. But so I'm going to zoom in. This gets really interesting. So this is our hike. What's in light blue? We're walking, right? So we go up here and we park right there, and this is the hike that we did. Now, what you're going to see is that there's a big site here called Bell Rock, and then over here there's a big rock called Courthouse Butte. Now here's where it gets a little bit more interesting. So yeah, I click on satellite, and it's got our trip overlaid on top of the map. So this is the actual parking lot. You can see the blue is not perfect, but man, that's crazy because that's our car parking. We actually parked right there. So that's maybe 50 yards off, I guess. We parked like in one of those three spots. Of course, this picture's not live. It's been, um, taken at another time. And from what I could tell, this was in the morning when these Google pictures were taken. But so we park and we hike up along the trail. You can see the trail's pretty much on target. And we go this way. And that's Bell Rock. That's like one of the, that's why we came, or why we went and did this hike at this location. Is this? It's a major site in the area, in the Sedona area, and we hiked along here, and this is kind of cool. Uh, so this squiggly line, we actually went right up on these rocks right here to get a picture. It's kind of crazy. So let me show you this. Now, let me go back. I'll show you that later. So right here, this is where that squiggly line is. We kind of hiked up a little bit on the rocks right there, and then Susan was kind enough to get a picture for me. And yeah, and so this doesn't look like it's very high, but when you look at it here, I mean, come on, it's just you can't really understand it on pictures as much as you have to in real life. I think video helps get you a better understanding of it. And I suppose here that you're not really seeing the top of the. So these are all like ledges, right? Those are all three ledges. And if you look here, you can see the ledge, right? Ledge there, there, and there. It's just hard to fathom it on pictures. So we hike around a little bit more. There's another squiggly line, and I'll just jump to some of these pictures and kind of show a few things here if I can. So there's us right there on the trail. Lovely wife Susan. That's again looking back at Bell Rock while we're on the trail. Something else on these pictures, because the geolocation is enabled, you can see where we are on the path right over here, which is crazy, right? So that's looking back at Bell Rock, which would be right here above where this red marker is. It's right in that area right there. So Susan went up there, and we got a picture of her as well, right behind this rock. And it's a hot day. You might be able to get a sense of that with the sun. I mean, or with the sky. It's a pretty clear sky. Pretty intense heat that day. And we, as you may have seen in this picture here, Susan's got a backpack on. She came very well prepared with water and Gatorade and food, which turned out to be, I mean, the necessary thing, a really obvious thing, but we kind of got lost. I'll show you that in a little bit. But so now we're coming around, still looking back at, that's probably Courthouse View. I get them mixed up. Yeah, it is. It's Courthouse View. Looking back towards it now. We're heading that way. This picture I like because it shows you how the soil from the top of these mesas and the top of these buttes, when it rains or whatever is causing the slide here, the mudslide, that soil over time runs down, and that's what enables the trees to grow along that area. Of course, there's no soil on the rock there, so that's kind of an interesting vista, an interesting view when you're up close with it. Let's see, where are we there? We're probably looking back at Bell Rock again there. Still on that trail. And again, here's the trail. We're probably in this area here. Okay. All right, so moving on. Susan getting a picture of me with the camera. I wanted to take this picture mainly to show my kids, but you know, the redness and the compactness of the clay in this area. I mean, this is desert area pretty much, and you can see a cactus right there, but you also see some greenery. And you know, what we found out in this area is that these plants don't need a lot of water to grow. And you know, it was high heat when we visited, but this picture you're probably not going to do justice up close, but it's almost a wilted tree, and it's like, how do these trees even grow, and how do they stay? You know, very rocky. This is off the trail. This is not the actual trail. This is just looking left off the trail there. But you know, you can see some of the hazards if you're walking and you twist an ankle or something back there. It's not a joke, right? So now this is going to be heading down the loop now. So we are, look at our timeline, we are going to be down this way, right in this area right here. About to come around, you'll see another parking lot. We did visit this one evening and took a couple pictures. We scoped it out, decided to come in on the other side. This is the Bell Rock trailhead, and we were at the Courthouse Butte trailhead. That's where we entered. But right now on our timeline, we're right around that area there. You can see that right there. Bell Rock again, looking back at Bell Rock. Now we're coming up to Courthouse View. So this is, now we've rounded the turn and coming back up. So that turn is right here, coming back up right here. And you can see that, you know, that picture, you can see how far that is. It's taken around this area here, looking to Courthouse Butte that way. But, you know, you can see how far that is. It's still a good piece, but the picture doesn't look like it's that far away. It's crazy. It's pretty unbelievable. It's spectacular. So we're getting closer now to Courthouse Butte. Here's me being a little bit funny about the trail sign, which, you know, all in all, it was marked very well. But we did get a little bit lost, and I'll show you some of that here in a moment. And that's right up close to Courthouse Butte, and you can see we're kind of coming back now on, we're right in this area here. And, you know, I remember taking this picture thinking, yeah, it's like right there, but it's so high and so much to it there. You know, if you kind of, there you go, you get an idea. So that picture, let's see if we can get, yeah, so you see this right here? This is crazy. That right there is that right there. So we took that picture from around this area right here. There's the trail right there. Another blue line's over here, but it's kind of off right there. So this is me standing right there, you know, not too far away. But I get the ledges, right? And the verticality here of the ledge of the rock, and you don't really get a sense of that verticality. There's a big ledge right here. Right there. Pretty amazing stuff. Pretty amazing stuff. So now that's looking back at, so now from here, and my back is to Courthouse Butte, and Susan is facing me, but I'm taking a picture of Bell Rock behind her. So that, you know, she's like in this area here, and you can see how far the distance is, and again, it doesn't look very far in the picture. This is us, I believe that's probably, let's see. That's probably, we're in between Bell Rock and Courthouse Butte here. Okay, so the next short video you're going to watch as part of this hike is the part where we get lost. And I'll show you something real quick about that. So, we're coming up in between Bell Rock and Courthouse View. We've come around this way. We're right in here. And then we take a break. Notice this little pool right here. Actually, it's not a pool. It's an old pool. And let's see if you can see it anywhere else around here. So that's the trail. Well, I'll tell you what, you can see this. You see these trees right here. There's an old dried up creek bed, and maybe that's part of it right there, right through there. An old dried up creek bed. And we thought this looked like a pool, maybe like where a waterfall would come down through here or something, perhaps. But it was all dried up. But we hiked up here, and we actually went right back in here and sat down and took a break. And then when we came out, we couldn't find the trail, and we went this way, and you can see that's where we got lost. Isn't that crazy? And the way that we found our way back is we remembered that we had braked right there. And so I don't think these blue lines really, well, maybe it does. Maybe this is where the creek bed is, right through here. And I know it's off a little bit. But we found our way back down to the creek bed and just hiked up. And it was a little bit tricky. We got to this spot, we knew where we were. And that's where I'll leave you off here and show you some video from the day, from the actual day. All right, I wonder if my face is as red on the picture. Well, if in real life it's as red on my face as it is on the video here. Is it red?
It's pretty red.
We're out here on our first hike together ever.
I guess.
Except for maybe like
Girl Scout
Girl Scout
ones.
ones or Ben Halls. And we're taking a short break. We've been, how long have we been? 2 miles?
An hour and a half. Well, actually a little longer than that because I didn't start my thing.
We've been on an hour and a half. We thought we were going to do 2 hours, and then when we started, we thought it was going to be about 30 minutes. And yeah, we're hydrating at the moment. And eating. And I'm going to flip the camera around and show you where our view is from where we're sitting. We notice we're in the shade here a little bit. I am for sure. So there's my camera and there's my foot. And that is our view of Bell Rock Tower right around this big rock that we're sitting behind. And Susan's kind of on the edge of Courthouse Butte. I don't think you can see it from here. I'll show you that it's under this tree. Maybe you can see it back there. Yeah. Just sitting here on the rock. There's that's an American holly tree right there, a bush, looks like. Taking a break before we get eaten up by mountain cougars.
Few moments later.
So we just, took that break and then got up trying to find the trail, and we couldn't find the trail. So there were a couple that we saw. They were lost as well. We got lost closer up to Bell Rock. Together, the couple and us. And then we found this creek bed that we saw, dried up creek bed. And we walked up it because that's where we knew we were. So we got there, and as we're sitting there resting, this guy comes running through like cross-country runner, which is insane. But he just took off up the path, and we were like, that's got to be it. So we headed up the path, and we look up. How many was it? 6?
4.
4 forest rangers dressed in hiking gear. Marched up with helmets on, and I was like, they're here to rescue us. I felt terrible. But they weren't. There was a family lost near Bell Rock. Family of 4. So there ain't no joke out here, dog. But they told us we're on the right path, and hopefully we're going to get over this ridge right here in front of us. They also told us to look at the white stripings on the rock. I told them it's not very well labeled, and that's what the trail wasn't labeled. It's been labeled really well up until this point. But yeah, we were kind of scared. We were getting lost in Arizona. What do you think, Susie?
Good.
Oh. The forest rangers are yelling for that family. They're in telephone communication with them. We can hear them over there. Peace. Okay, so we have come across the clearing and come across that ledge where we almost got lost. And now this is wide open area. I took a panoramic shot. I couldn't do anything else but do that. It was amazing. So, we were kind of struggling and all that. We come across this clearing. And to the right is Courthouse View, which is now behind us. And then this is the 360 panoramic view that I wanted to share. 360-degree shot. Just unbelievable, really. And you're going to see now the path is marked right through here, and just down this way is where our car was parked, right over here. But this is the 360-degree view that we had once we got into that clearing. It just was absolutely amazing. And there's Bell Rock. So we had come back through this way here, over into the clearing. And then the last picture I'll show you is kind of funny. I've kind of found it a little bit humorous, but these are my black shoes, brand new pair of shoes I bought for the trip. And they're covered with like red dust. I just thought that was kind of funny.